Picking up from where we left off in the previous tutorial, one way of compensating for a problem like we saw with my synth workstation keyboard, on which it's hard to get very subtle gradations of velocity when playing softly, is to adjust the velocity response of the keyboard itself. And most controllers offer a variety of different velocity curve adjustments, such as the ones you see here. Most keyboard controllers default to what's called a linear curve, which is really just a straight line. And what that's supposed to translate into, in theory, is that the velocity value is going to be directly proportional to how hard or soft you play. But that's all good and well in theory, because both of my keyboards are set to this linear curve. But as we saw, the actual velocity values that I got from my playing were quite different between the two. So for a keyboard like my Synth Action keyboard, which is overly sensitive when I'm trying to play soft, quiet stuff, a velocity curve shaped like this would be a good choice to help compensate for the problem. And here's how that translates. If your keyboard is set to the linear curve and playing with X amount of force would result in a note that normally has a velocity of, say, 44, by selecting this curve, that same amount of force would result in a note with a velocity of, say, 34 or 32. So in effect, this kind of shape makes the keyboard less susceptible to outputting high velocity values when you're playing very softly. And if your keyboard doesn't generate high enough velocities, then selecting the oppositely shaped compensation curve would be the way to go. In the next tutorial, we're going to take a look at how making adjustments to the velocity values of recorded parts can help improve clarity and solidify your musical intentions.